As we look into it, these are estimates at this point, but it looks like around about 100,000 affected homes. That's a big number. We're going to have 100,000 affected homes, all with different degrees of insurance, some with flood insurance, some underinsured, some uninsured. We'll have to address those on a case-by-case basis as we move forward, but I want to put a scope and magnitude on this. We're also going to have damage to publicly owned infrastructure.
Well, earlier I spoke to Giles Gibson in Washington, and he says that the cost of the damage for Texas could be billions of dollars.
Well, the estimates on the damage in parts of Texas that have been hit by Hurricane Harvey really vary quite wildly. One disaster modeler that I saw, he was putting an estimate at around $48 to $75 billion worth of damage to these parts of Texas. The Texas governor, meanwhile, Greg Abbott, he's talking about the state perhaps needing up to $125 billion total for relief. And then AccuWeather, they're a commercial weather forecaster. They're predicting that the total cost of this storm and this flooding to the Texas economy as a whole could be $190 billion. So really, these figures are varying quite wildly. What I would say is that I was reporting on this exact issue just a couple of days ago, and one of the figures that I saw was 30 billion in terms of the total damage. So certainly, as these areas remain underwater, that damage figure and that cost just keeps on going up.
And is Trump and the US Congress going to get this money? Is it going to be difficult for them to get it cleared by Congress?
Well, that's certainly the challenge facing Donald Trump now that he's actually visited these parts of Texas, not Houston itself, but other parts of Texas that are standing underwater. And he's promised the people in Texas that he's going to deliver on this funding. Now, many people are comparing it to the situation that we saw back in 2013 with the Hurricane Sandy. Now, lots of lawmakers, including some from Texas, it had to be said, they delayed the legislation that was passing relief funding for the states that had been hit by Hurricane Sandy back in 2013 for several months because they said that there were other parts of this legislation, add-ons and spending add-ons that weren't related to the hurricane relief were aimed at other parts of the United States. So certainly Donald Trump has got a bit of a challenge ahead to actually deliver on that promise which he gave on the ground to the people who've been hit by this disaster.